Hello, blessed Samhain, and happy Halloween. However, you choose to honor this time of year when the veil is thin and we're able to feel our connection to all the energies that have been initiated by death and that sacred passage, that sacred rite of passage in life, right? I really felt pulled to do. It didn't stay on long tonight at all. The spirits want us to spend some time just resting in the dark and listening. I'm really picking up these messages quite strongly, and it feels like the contact this year is really, really up, more so than usual. And I feel like we're all heading through a time of major transition, and not just with what's been going on in the world, with the situation we're all dealing with globally, but individually in our lives. There's so many skins being shed, right? So many old ways of being, old beliefs coming up to be cleared. And I just really wanted to drop in with you all tonight. I feel like I want to do a lot of readings for the collective over these next 3 days in honor of Samhain, in honor of Halloween, in honor of Dias de los Muertos, the people who are honoring in that tradition, and to just call in the energy of our ancestors and hear the wisdom that those who came before us have to offer. And it's also Witches' New Year. So there's, this interesting juxtaposition, right? We're releasing the old, we're honoring the dead, and we're also opening to new life. So it's a very beautiful kind of phoenix rising energy coming in at this time too. I'm feeling that quite strongly. So we'll just see how this goes. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to flow with it. I'm just going to be open to where I'm being led. And we'll be doing a collective read. And then I plan on kind of when it feels like this stream of consciousness has ran out and it's time for me to close the series of readings over these next 3 days, then I'm going to do just pull 12 cards, one for each zodiac sign, as a theme card for what is coming into your life and what the focus is. And I may do a couple clarification cards, on those, just depending on what comes up. So just wanted to dive in with you all, and I wanted to make contact with you, even if it was just glancing at you from the side. I have to figure out my setup here. This is all new to me, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm just very much loving connecting with the energy, playing with the energy late at night. That's always kind of been my jam ever since I was a young one. I enjoy the nighttime. I enjoy the peace and the quiet of the night. And it's so restorative at this time of year. I'm just calling in some clearing energy around this reading, cleansing any residual energies that might be hanging around me or in this space from things that unfolded earlier in the day, and cleansing those energies as well from all those who are tuning in to take time to join me tonight and who will be joining me over these next few days. And Ted's here, and he wanted to participate too, and he's quite insistent. We went on a lovely walk in the neighborhood just to enjoy all the night energies, and after that walk, I just knew. I knew we had to dive into some readings and see what wanted to come through. Just offering up a little spirit candy, some tobacco for the ancestors. As we honor you during this time, we welcome you to come forward and share whatever guidance needs to come through. Whatever wisdom you have that you would like to impart upon us as we enter this next turning of the wheel. Calling on Wolf Totem, Mingala, to help us find the path ahead, to help us connect with our instincts so we know the action to take that will lead us out of the crossroads and into the new chapter. We're really in this process right now of closing the old, clearing out karmic cycles, being held accountable. The piper must be paid, the wheel of fortune turns, what was up must come down, and vice versa. It's just all part of life. It's a continual cycle and it's unavoidable. But anybody out there who's struggling right now with releasing anything, just know that there's still beauty to be found. And if you are grieving somebody that you lost this past year tonight, I ask that the angels surround you with love and comfort and give you a feeling of connection and peace and serenity as you take this time to remember your loved ones. And for those of you who are grieving emotional deaths, significant endings in your life, I ask that Archangel Michael come in and provide protection so you can have the strength and the courage to release what you need to let go of so that you can move into expansion in your life. So you can feel that homecoming of freedom, There's beauty. There's beauty even in the deaths in life. And so tonight, I just really want to tune into the energy and hold space for that. Hold space for the energy of letting go, honoring what has been, honoring those who have come before us, and opening up to the wisdom that they would like to bring through for us. So we're heading into really interesting astrology. We just had the season of Scorpio kick off. And, just as I say that, here's Scorpio's card, okay, the death card, and we're talking about death. It is Scorpio season. This is Scorpio's domain, okay? But it's always like that journey of the phoenix, like I was talking about. It's to be reduced to ash, but from the ashes, we will rise, right? So a lot of people are in heavy release processes right now. And sometimes it's not a physical release. It's not that you're letting go of any people, places, or things. It's that you're letting go of shit you've just been holding on to for too long that's holding you back. It's okay. It's okay to put down the bags and be open and just trust that it might not look like it right now. You may be in a lot of pain. And it is important to honor the grief that you're feeling. But hold out for that little, flame of hope that reminds you that the light always comes back again. Even in the moments of greatest darkness, there's a little light to be found, Isn't that interesting, during this time of year, you leave a light on. You leave a light on for your loved ones, for the ones who have crossed over. And I wonder, how often do you leave the light on for yourself, right? Maybe it would be a beautiful practice, over these next 3 days to set up an altar, just a real simple altar where you have a candle, that you light for yourself. You can do a little meditation, offering up what you're releasing to the flame for transmutation, transformation. And ask that that energy be transmuted and transferred to you in a new way that helps you rise up out of what you thought you weren't strong enough to let go of. And there is beauty and there is hope in that. Let the light coming from that single flicker of a flame remind you that even when it's dark, there is illumination to be found. There is illumination to be found. You'll start to see things in a new way. And we're kind of like going through this really disruptive energy right now, because we got a new moon that's going to be coming in, the new moon in Scorpio, okay? And that new moon in Scorpio is the third new moon in a series that we've had that's had real kind of tough aspects. And this one's, in opposition to Uranus. And that brings a lot of unpredictability. It's very fast-paced energy, and things turn on a drop of a dime. And that makes things feel very unstable, right? Situations are going to be rocking our root. It's just the way it is. If you've had trouble letting go of something, if you've had a hard time releasing something, sometimes it has to be ripped away from you for your own good. And there will be people that will be going through that experience, especially because this new moon energy that's coming in with this tough aspect is also, a precursor to the final eclipse, the final partial lunar eclipse in Taurus that's going to be coming in on the 19th. Okay? And that's closing a cycle that started way back in May, May of this year. So think about what was going on in your life at that time. What were you dealing with? There's been a progression of that energy, and now things are really coming to a head. All right, it's coming to a culmination point. But there's a lot of hope coming in too. So this is kind of like the period of time where that you got that Grim Reaper coming in, swinging that fucking scythe, right? Separating the wheat from the chaff. And there's going to be things that go. And it may be disorienting. You're going to learn some truths too, It'll be another kind of death, right? Another kind of release. Those with Scorpio strongly aspected in their chart, be live to this message. I will call out signs, as they come in, even though I'm doing a collective reading. So a strong placement would be sun, rising, moon, Mercury, Mars in this case, just because Mars is one of the rulers of Scorpio. Mars also rules Aries, and there's been a real dynamic going on with Mars and Aries. And the way that that energy is played out by being hosted by Libra. We just got out of Libra season, okay? So Libra was hosting Mars. Libra's kind of like antithesis, right? Like it's the oppositional energy because Mars rules over Aries, and Aries is the opposite sign to Libra. So there's been like a lot of push-pull dynamics going on. So Mars has been a big player. Mars has definitely been a big player. But Mars has since moved out, of Libra as of just recently, just yesterday on the 30th. And it's now in its other home. Its other underworld home in Scorpio, where it joins Pluto. And we all know about the themes of Plutonic energy, right? A lot of shadow work, and we've really been sifting through that stuff. So if you have Sun, rising, Moon, Venus, Mars, Mercury, or North Node in Scorpio, really pay attention to what house is that located in. Where are those placements located? Where do you have Pluto in your chart? Where do you have Mars in your chart? And if you get a feel for that, then you're going to understand where you're going to be experiencing these deaths, this letting go process in your life. Okay. And right behind that, I didn't even get into that. Look at, isn't this so interesting? We got the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is Taurus. So again, if you have strong placements in Taurus, you do want to be live to this message. Taurus is hosting that partial lunar eclipse that's closing this cycle, okay? So there's a lot of higher law coming in. This is definitely a very karmic closeout time. And it's a time when, those roots may be rocked. Because this is a tree, it's represented by a tree here, right? And there's going to be a lot of information coming in. But, pay attention to how trees move when there's a storm, right? They don't push back against the gale. They give themselves over to it. They let it pull its leaves from it. They're flexible. And that's how you make it through a challenging period like this. It's interesting because this particular cycle, this new moon that's coming in on the 4th, is a shorter lunar cycle than usual because of that eclipse energy. So its influence is really going to be most strongly impacting, the first couple weeks. The first couple weeks of this month. So just, do what you have to do to really ground yourself. Get grounded, as we enter this new year and this turning of the wheel. Get grounded so you can ride out those storms that are coming, because they are going to come, and everybody's going to be susceptible to it. There isn't anybody who, isn't going to be feeling it, right? But the reality is, it's all about aligning with our dreams and aligning with what really inspires us and what makes us feel like we're fully in our power and we're moving from that place in our lives where we're in our mojo and we're lit the fuck up because we're really feeling good about how we're moving forward in our life, where we're putting our energy, and the return on that investment we're seeing, A lot of people are having to let go of situations that have been really draining their power, where they felt powerless, where they had to just kind of get carried along with other people's desires, what they wanted, what worked for them. And there's been a lot of radical acceptance that's been going on, you know. I mean, I haven't even really started shuffling yet, but this is right here, so. And it's been the work, right? It's been the work to have to get more and more proficient at letting go. To do so with more grace and less struggle. And to instead pour that energy into working on yourself and to cultivating a certain kind of autonomy, you know, not looking to rely or need anything, you know, from anybody else, but to feel really strong and solid within yourself, because we really realized how much things can change on the drop of a dime. And you can't control what other people do. You can't control how outside situations are going to come ripping through your life and throwing everything up in the sky and leaving you in a place where you don't know where anything's going to land. And we're gearing up for those kind of changes. There's going to be a lot of people rocking and rolling. And some of those changes will be very positive. But not everything is going to go the way you want it to. We're all kind of in this period of reckoning, right? The more you can like kind of pour your energy though into something physical, something tangible, will be very rooting for you. There's something about investing time, energy, work, commitment into building something, into creating something, into bringing a vision to fruition. Something that speaks to your heart. Something you feel guided to do. That can be a wonderful way to anchor yourself during times when, you know, you're on shifting sands. And maybe the things you built leading up to this point turned out to be sandcastles, and here comes the tide. And just like that, you know, it can all go in. Isn't this such? These cards don't want to come back in, so I'm going to look at that. Okay. He's coming up a lot, man. This Page of Swords. I mean, I have to say, look at that fucking face. This Page of Swords energy. Air sign energy. Aries. Well, isn't it interesting that I said Aries? I'm going to go with it. It came out of my mouth. Aries, we're going to throw it in there, okay? Because it doesn't have to be an air sign. It is an energy, okay? And with the dance that's been going on with Mars, I could absolutely see how Aries energy could come into play with this. So I'm definitely going to put it out there. Aries energy. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energy. Dealing with themes of, you know, shit happening beneath the surface. Things not being clear. People not being direct. Sneaky energy, you know? Sneaky energy, that's what the Page of Swords is. So if you have any strong placements in your chart, in any of those signs, I'm throwing Aries in there because that's what came through. I didn't even have any control over that. You know, pay attention pay attention. You know, have you been feeling on guard? Does it feel like, you know, something ain't right? You need to trust your intuition on that. This energy is hanging around. This is also a social media card, you know, so sometimes it's a matter of, people are keeping an eye on your social media, or there can be gossip surrounding you on social media. Um, but this energy is definitely in play. And sometimes it can be a surprising energy, okay, in a good way. But more often than not, it operates a little bit more in the negative, okay? I'm just being honest. And a lot of that has to do with the cards that come out with it. And this one came out with the Five of Pentacles, all right? So I would say be aware of what's going on with your finances, and be aware of who you're trusting when it comes to your finances. Be aware of partnering with other people when it comes to your finances, okay? Here was that card, right? From earlier, Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is about working on something on your own. It's about honing your craft. And when we're looking at Five of Pentacles, that's like feeling like you ain't got a pot to piss in. Okay, so with this Page of Swords energy there, I would say if you're doing a financial dealing with somebody and something doesn't feel quite right, or you feel like somebody may be skimming a little more off the top than was agreed to, or they pulled somebody into the project that, you know, you didn't feel right about, and you kind of got rolled over in that process, you know, they're letting that person get a bigger cut than was agreed upon. In some way, there's a feeling of being ripped off and taken advantage of, okay? And things not being above board, and being kind of subversive. So this is a message coming through pretty strong at this time too. You know, be aware of that. I'm seeing that, you know, there's three people that are involved in this situation, and it may even be a third party situation. And it could be in terms of a relationship as well, but I'm not seeing cups on the board at all. This is a very material energy and mental energy, like mental manipulation, mind games around money, maybe money being used to hold power over another, you know. Something unethical is going on though, so do be live to that. You know, we're not going to talk about everything, you know, deep and soulful and, you know. Okay, we're not. Those cards are pretty adamant about that tonight. We're going to let whatever energy wants to come through. And we did ask the ancestors to come forward and give us some messages. So, you know, our ancestors have our back. They want us to have less struggle than they did. They don't want to see us repeat, you know, the lessons of the past. They want us to have the advantage of their wisdom and their medicine that they got the hard way and they passed down on to us, you know, through the bloodline. So they're going to let us know if there's some fuckery going on. And, you know, this is funny because I did a reading for Libras and for their solar return, and this character popped up there too. So this energy, this underhanded energy is really hanging out, and I'm just gonna, like I did last time, just kind of contain that energy with some witch's salt here. Just asking that this energy be purified, that where there's underhanded dealings, that things are brought to light so that those being negatively impacted in those situations can take action in a way that protects their best interests. And for those who are dealing with a shady situation like that, to have discernment and clarity and not get suckered, you know. Yeah, there really is just this energy right now. And this card here, the Hermit. Okay, so Virgos too. Pay attention, Virgos. You know, where is somebody, you know, keeping secrets from you? Or where are you keeping secrets from others? So it's interesting that this card comes out in connection with this energy. There may be a need to really distance yourself from people to get clear on where is the bullshit coming from. This energy that we're going to be working with throughout, you know, the close of the year, that we don't get real relief from